Hello and welcome to my channel, or if this is your first time here, my name is Millie and I love indie makeup, especially shiny, shifty, and sparkly eyeshadows. And today I'm going to be featuring a newer palette, and this is from Midas Cosmetics, and this is the Perception palette, which is in collaboration with TheBasicB, and I will link her information down below. She creates some beautiful, really graphic and really bright colorful looks, so please make sure to check her out in case you haven't heard of her before. And this packaging is stunning. When I saw it revealed, I mean, even like the reveal video was just so beautiful. This is just so well done. I love the like matte with the spot gloss. Yes, look at that. Oh, it's so cool, so beautiful. It feels really cool. It feels really nice. And then this is what the inside looks like. I don't want to bend this backwards too much because the packaging is so beautiful, but here's the color story. She is bright, and I'm so excited. When I saw this inside of this, I knew I had to have it because this is my kind of color story. Now, I've tried only one other palette from Midas, and that was the Smoky Glow palette, which is also a collaboration palette, and I do have a video up with that one. But let's get into some swatches, some swatch comparisons, and then at the end of the video, I'll give you some of my thoughts on this palette. Here are the first 3 rows. I couldn't fit the last row. So here's the last row. So let's do some swatch comparisons. A lot of people thought that there was going to be some similarities between this palette and the Adept palettes, and I checked and there's no similar shades in the It's Belle palette. So let's start with Psyche, and this is from the Perception palette. So I'm gonna layer it on just a little bit. And then ACI 7 from the Plain Jane palette. These are very similar. I would say they're basically identical. They even feel similar in texture, just really smooth and shiny. And this has a shift to a purple. The only other shade would be Quantum from Perception, and ACI 5 from Plain Jane. These feel pretty different in texture in the way that they applied with a finger, like in the swatch. And they're very similar. As you can see in the phone video, there's a little bit of a difference. Taking Inspire and putting it on the inner lid. I'm gonna take it up just a little bit, but I plan on using another shade to blend that out, and then packing it down on the outer lid and trying to kind of keep it to stay pretty much just on my lid. Next I'm taking Curious, and I'm gonna use that to blend it. And I'm gonna kind of do this slowly, purposely, because slow and steady wins the race. I feel like it's gonna be better. I'm gonna get a better blend if I go slower. Then I'm gonna take it on the outer part with the blue and start blending that. And I already see that it's starting to kind of take off the blue, so I'm gonna have to go in back in with the blue. I need to stop slouching because then I'm out of frame constantly. Just gonna put on a little bit more. Definitely gonna take like a larger, fluffier brush. Dipping back into Inspire. I'm gonna start blending it more into the purple. It's like not wanting to stick just a little bit. We're off to an awful start, I know, but I've used this palette twice prior to filming off camera, and I had a great time with it. So it might just be the nature. I mean, this blue is basically like electric blue, so I can't imagine that it's not harder to formulate. I'm gonna go back in with Curious. So just trying to blend that into it. And then right in the center, I'm gonna pop Evolve. Ooh, this is such a fun color. It's so bright. This would be also really nice, just like in the center, doing like a semi-halo eye. Put on just a little bit more. This is the more kind of drier formula, similarly to the other Midas palette I've tried, which is the Smoky Glow collaboration that was a while ago. So I'm just kind of blending that out, getting the edges. I do have some leftover flakies up here that I just seem to not be able to get off. Juvia's Place primer just squirted everywhere, which is really great. And I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna put it right in the center. So we're gonna be doing like a halo eye. I'm gonna make sure when I look forward that I can see it, so it's not completely swallowed by my hood. So I wiped off my brush, and I'm just gonna feather out those edges into the blue so it's not as harsh, and I'm just tapping it in. So you gotta kind of take your time. I think that's pretty good. I haven't done something this sharp in a while. Next I'm taking Perplex, and I'm gonna put that right in between the base and the dark blue. Gonna do it on both sides. Should I make this an all matte look? I think I might make this an all matte look. I'm gonna go in with Inspire and just kind of blend it in a little bit nicer. Same thing on this side, just a tiny bit of it on the brush. Back in with Perplex. And right down the center I'm going in with Reality, which is the white. And I'm going to try to blend it in. Oh, that's nice. That's really fun. I don't know why I always end up doing it at this angle instead of like straight down, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, so just blending everything together by kind of tapping it on. I'm going to take Inspire and connect it on my lower lash line. And take Curious and blend that into that. And then go back and Inspire. It seems to just not want to really blend with another shade. And then taking Evolve and putting it underneath in the center of my lower lash line. Definitely feel like this needs something tacky because it's not really tacky, so you're not wanting to stick down. See, it just kind of blended away, which is fine. I don't mind, like, it doesn't need to be. And for the inner corner, I'm gonna use Psyche. Oh, that's so pretty. Very sparkly, very topper-like. Oh yeah. For this look, I'm going in with the Juvia's Place primer since I just accidentally squeezed out so much of it. It's picking up natural. And I'm gonna kind of first map out. I'm gonna do like a full cut crease with this look. This palette is colorful, so I gotta do colorful looks, you know? So I'm just putting it, kind of mapping it out, and then we're gonna kind of wing it out here. So next I'm gonna start blending that up. Keep blending, just keep blending. I don't love this brush, it's really flimsy, but it's just so small that it's perfect for this. So I picked up more natural, and I'm just gonna go in with a pencil brush and really pack it on, specifically in this area, and use the other brush to blend it up. Okay, I switched to brush. The other brush was just too flimsy. I'll pick up a little bit more on this brush and just go over it and blend and blend. Going back in and blending more, just lots of blending. Again, taking my time. This is good. This video is gonna be probably forever long, but just really taking my time. Next, going in with the Juvia's Place primer again. I would have wiped this off, but I just don't feel like doing that right now. So and just try to get as much of a sharp line as possible. So when I relax my eye, I definitely need to bring it a little bit higher. And then just bringing it down. So next I'm just gonna tap it. Kind of push it in. And I'm gonna put Reality and stamp it right just on the edge of that cut crease. Just kind of setting it there basically. I'm taking Fusion and just putting it right in here. We're gonna try to fit as many colors of the rainbow as possible. So I'm just packing it on and then gonna kind of blend it in there. Taking Curious and putting it right next to it. I feel like they're gonna be kind of similar. Going back in with Fusion. Yeah, so far I really feel like that thin formula just for me doesn't usually like to layer too much. Going back in with the purple. Next I'm going in with Perplex. We're gonna blend out the edge after. I'm just putting everything down. Going into Open Mind. Putting it down next to that. Going in with Life. And then Quasar, I think is how it's pronounced. Next to that. And lastly we have Infinite, which is just gonna be kind of over here. So we got a lot to get blended over here. So I'm just gonna be going in and out, and I'm gonna probably speed this up. Taking the Refer 23 brush, and I'm just gonna go back in with Natural and trace the cut crease. Just adding the depth back and just trying to really stay blending that one spot. Next I'm taking Quasar again. I'm gonna put that kind of under my lower lash line, or at least start to. And then Open Mind, Perplex. Just basically reflecting the top. Curious. Fusion. Just go underneath that and kind of help to feather out this outer wing part. Here's the first finished look. Here's the second finished look. I forgot to shake the Juvia's Place primer, and it literally squirted water everywhere. Once again. I don't understand why theirs does this. It still somehow doesn't look fully mixed, but I kind of mixed it on the back of my hand. So for these next two looks, I'm gonna use the shimmers because the shimmers are so good. So good. And these are gonna be a little bit simpler looks and compared to the other two that I just did. We're gonna use my sticker because I keep forgetting to use these, so we're gonna do it today now that I finally remember. I cut it in half because it is pretty long and I don't think I need that much length. Going in with Open Mind. And just putting it pretty much right in the crease. Next I'm dipping into Restless. I'm gonna put that on at an angle. Just packing it on and then blending out the edges of that and kind of blending it into the lighter green as well. This has so much depth. This is a really great kind of grassy forest green. So next I'm going to use the J-Cat All About That Base Glitter Shadow Primer. This thing is exactly the same as the NYX Glitter Primer. Like, it looks the same too, and it has the same consistency. I actually prefer like this nozzle because it squeezes out the tiniest amount at a time. But yeah, it feels the same. I was going to check the ingredients to see if like the ingredients are the same as well. And this is actually even $1 cheaper than the NYX Glitter Primer. So I think that's pretty cool. I've had it for a while, but I just like would always forget to use it. So I'm going to go in with Psyche. I mean, look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm just going to tap it on my finger. And then I'm going to use my pinky for the smaller areas. The smaller crevices, if you will. But, oh yes. Look at that shine. Look at that shine. I mean, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Alright, we're going to take this off. Look at that crisp line. Wow, I need to use these more. So I have like, the other side is clean, so I'm just going to really use that to its advantage, not waste any more clean ones. Priming again with the ABH, I was gonna say ABH. Priming again with the Juvia's Place primer. Actually this one, I'm gonna bring it down a little bit lower because I'm gonna be putting eyeshadow like underneath my lower lash line so that it kind of leaves space to connect it easier. Wish I had done that last time. Going in with Evolve. Right in the crease. This is going to be a pinky look. Pinky reddish. This one definitely feels really thin, like compared to the, like these all feel thin, but this one feels like especially thin. I feel like you can kind of see it, and I think it has a lot to do with just the color of the, I just realized I'm out of focus, sorry. So I'm just kind of packing it on. And then we're going to go in with Fusion just a little bit, like right in the crease, blending it out and up. Going in with Implode. It's a really nice, deep, reddish kind of brown. It's actually a little bit more plum, maybe even. And again, just putting it on at an angle. And then blending out the edges, pack on a little bit more. I am really winging this out. Again, using the J-Cat primer. I'm just gonna put it right on my lid, tapping it on. I'm going in with Quantum. Over that, just all over the lid. Ooh, that's shiny, and you can see it's really shifty too. Oh, the other one is so shifty. Wait, it's green and purple, and then this one's like a peach and like a pinky purple. Look at that peach. Wow. I have on these Stella lashes from Lunar Beauty. LA Girl liner in Gotcha on this side, and then Insomniac from ColourPop on this side. Finishing off this side with Restless and dragging it underneath my lower lash line and then connecting it with the bottom of that wing, kind of getting rid of that sharp edge basically. Then I'm going in with Open Mind. Implode on this side, connecting it just like on the other side. And I'm going to bring it up into this edge. Just add a little bit more until it's no longer as harsh as it was. I'm gonna fix this outer edge a little bit. It's looking a little harsh, and I'm gonna add just the tiniest bit over here as well. And putting Evolve under my lower lash line. I'm gonna go with motive to highlight the inner corner on this side. And then the side I'm just going to leave as is. I don't have another inner corner highlight. So here's the first finished look. And here's the second finished look. First things first, these shimmers are exquisite. They're so beautiful. They're so shiny, so sparkly. They're exactly what I look for in an eyeshadow, basically. And they're very shifty, as you can see. You could see in the these last two looks, they're really shifty as well. They're two of the shades are similar to the two shades from the Adept Plain Jane, but the texture feels a little bit different. They're both really sparkly, but I don't by any means think that it's the same thing. I know a lot of people were asking about if they're the same or if they're the same shadows. And then we have Entity down here. I didn't use this one, but it is really beautiful and shiny as well, and so is Motive. And the other shimmer that I didn't use is Deep Space, and honestly, this one just doesn't swatch that well. I feel like out of all the shades, this one might be a dud. It does have a shift as well. It shifts from like a purple to a red. It's really nice. It feels really thick, and it's more like a satin. It's not really shiny, so I would say maybe like using this and then layering something on top of it or something. But I feel like this one I would have switched out for like another sparkly shadow or something, but just not a big fan. I haven't used it on the lid, but just from what I can feel from the texture and like trying similar shadows like that in texture and try to put them on, I've always had a hard time. So that's like really my only thing about this palette, is just that one shimmer I'm a little iffy on. And then let's talk about the mattes. I have done 2 other looks off camera. So I've done a total of 6 looks with this palette, and I've used a good amount of the mattes. There's a few mattes I haven't used. Dark Matter, I believe Existence, I'm not sure, but I've used the rest of them, and they're definitely on par with the Smoky Glow palette that I tried, where they're a bit thinner. I think it's just the Midas formula where the mattes are a little bit thinner, which is not my favorite, but these perform really, really great. I had just slight patching issues here and there when I was doing that like really intricate looks, but all my other looks I've done with this palette, where I just used like something in the crease and something on the outer corner, I had absolutely no issues. It could have also been the primer, but I think sometimes a drier formula, if you layer it too much, it ends up doing that. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, swatching it, because I did not swatch this before I use this. I don't like to swatch palettes before I use them for the most part, except for shimmers, maybe I'll do that, but like mattes, I don't like to. Evolve is way drier, so it's Curious, and it's just it looks a little like patchy and sheer when you swatch them compared to Restless, Implode, Perplex, and Existence. Like it just feels like it's slightly different, and I think it's just the nature of the shadow. It's basically a neon shadow, so is Life, Inspire, you know, Fusion, really bright, and usually those kind of mattes can be a little bit on the drier side, but nothing that's not workable. As you could see, I was able to achieve these 4 colorful looks with no problems. So all in all, I really enjoy this palette. I can't wait to dip more into it. Honestly, like I look at it and there's just endless amount of possible looks I could create with this palette. I definitely think 4 is not enough, but I really enjoyed it, and also when I created the other 2 looks off camera, I had a great time with it, and the shimmers just really blew me away. So I would love to see more palettes from Midas with this shimmer formula for sure. So that's everything for this video. Let me know in the comments below which look was your favorite, and if you picked this palette up, or do you plan on doing so. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. There's lots of indie makeup, lots of shiny, sparkly, shifty eyeshadow content already on my channel, and much more to come. You don't want to miss out. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.